Rollercoaster Tycoon was a major part of my childhood, but so were the humongous entertainment games like Spy Fox, Freddy Fish, Putt Putt, Pajama Sam, and Big Thinkers. So, after many years of no longer having access to the original game, I bought it on Steam one day, but barely touched it as I was busy with other things back then, like my addiction to Skyrim with 4,279.3 hours on Steam as the writing of this review, which was written on December 27th, 2023. Yeah, I make content ahead of time. Anyways, let's jump into the Rollercoaster Tycoon Deluxe and see if it's still as good as I remember as it was when I was very little. To start, we have several scenarios to play, each being their own location and selection of rides, stalls, coasters, and more. With the Deluxe Edition, we have access to expansion packs, corkscrew follies, and loopy landscapes. Of course, it also includes the Gold Edition editions, which adds new customization for rides, which I didn't know of till I wrote this review. So select whichever scenario you want, and once in game, you get the goal you need to complete within a certain time frame. The time frame is usually easy if you're not new to the series. Every time you complete a scenario, you can move on to another and unlock more, each getting more challenging as time goes on top of the expansions adding more challenges as well. The first scenario is the most well known, being Forest Frontiers. In this scenario, you must have at least 250 guests and a park rating of 600 or more by the end of October year 1. This isn't hard and is a good place to start to learn the basics of the game's many mechanics and tools, to which we'll now talk about. To start, you should build pathways around your park for guests and staff to walk around. Try to not make them 2 tiles wide, as the AI spazzes out and can cause guests to get angry and lost. It's best to stick to 1 tile wide paths only, unless necessary. After that, you need rides for guests as well, to ride. Here we have a small selection at first, but more open up as you research them over time. But only select rides will appear in each scenario, meaning if you like go-karts, this one is not for you, as they're not available due to technical reasons. So place a haunted house, merry-go-round, swinging ship, slide, scrambled egg ride, what? And be sure to make the lines long enough to host plenty of people and have the exit connected to the pathway. After that, you can add things like stalls for restrooms, cotton candy, burgers, pizza, cowboy hats, balloons, map kiosks, umbrella stands, soda, water, you name it. Again, like rides, there's only a select few in each scenario, and then to unlock more, you need to research to increase variety and value for your park and make the guests happy. Of course, this being called Rollercoaster Tycoon, you'd expect there to be roller coasters, and there are. You get a few and research more over time, including ride improvements. If you don't feel like building the roller coasters, you can just place presets which vary in cost. It's sometimes better to just make your own to save money and maximize profits. Plus, the AI is not that good, so you can easily build a very basic coaster. In turn, it can be extremely profitable. Just look up guides online on how to make the most exploitive roller coasters. You can build water rides as well, like the log raft ride, which is built in the same way as the roller coasters. This is also true for go-karts and other scenarios, and is a hugely popular ride. Then there's the unique building of custom hedge mages, another popular ride to exploit the guests with. Make a small and simple one and max the amount of people inside to get loads of money and guests. Will act like it's the return of Jesus of park rides. They're not that hard to impress. But of course, with anything, there's annoying things to be talked about. Rollercoaster Tycoon does have some problems, which were a pain even back in the day, when I was still in primary school. Yes, I'm old. The camera is a pain to work with. The UI is a nightmare. Once you start placing several workers or rides or anything for that matter, you have to close each individual menu that keeps popping up, cluttering the screen. Not to mention the terrain tools being expensive and not easy to use. You'll fight the tool to get the exact thing you want. You want to flatten the terrain, but instead you grab only a single edge or one side to make a ramp. It's annoying. And the underground view and underwater view options don't really help. Once you get elevation involved, the game shows its shortcomings. Another thing is a loan system, in which financially the game does get hard if you're not careful, and loans are not forgiving, as it will cripple you more than it helps you. And yet, that doesn't hold it back from me enjoying this game still to this very day. But of course, being the first game, it's very basic, and there is a better sequel out there to play, which takes the first game, expands it with quality of life features and new additions. With Rollercoaster Tycoon available, especially the complete version nowadays, the first game is a bit lacking in comparison. Though I still enjoyed the game, I would sooner suggest you play the second one to get the first game with better features and more content. Nonetheless, Rollercoaster Tycoon Deluxe is basic, but it's a part of my childhood, and I always will hold it near and dear to me, even after 20 years. Good God. I still play the first game to remember a simpler time, a time of which I will always want to hold close to me. So let's hurry up and get to the score. This video has gone on too long. At the end of the day, Rollercoaster Tycoon Deluxe is a game well worth checking out, and has aged quite well. It's available on Steam and GOG, wherever you decide to play it. Just know it runs perfectly fine on Windows 10 machines and should be playable on Windows 11 as well. It's programmed quite well, unlike most games, allowing it to be compatible on more operating systems than one would expect from a 1999 video game. Good God, it's from 1999. Anyways, that's it for this video. I know it's more basic, but sometimes I just can't really think of how to add more to a review and figure you guys would like the variety. So see you all later.